Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers, and today we're going to turn this manila folder into this cool little notebook that has all these little flips and flaps, and this goes down, and when you open it, this one goes down. You close it back up, and then in the center there's a gusset, and we're going to put a little folder in there, or a little notebook in there. Okay, now this is my prototype. This prototype number 2, this prototype number 1. He's looking a little rough. So and I've got an idea that we might do on this one that will help make this one look a little bit cleaner. Now this folder's dirty because that's why it's my prototype. It's one of my spare folders that I set aside when there's a problem. But you can see the gusset where we're going to put the notepad right here. Okay, so this is I'm calling it a wallet journal. It looks about wallet size to me. You could toss it in your purse, probably stick it in your back pocket. Now I left the tab on mine. You can certainly cut the tab off. You do need one with a side tab and not a center tab. Okay, if you're going to cut the tab off, just cut it straight off at the tab. Don't cut the whole thing off even, you know what I mean, down to here. Let me do that up here. Don't cut it off down to here. Just cut this tab off here. Just from here to here. If you don't want the tab on there. I kind of like it with the tab. Okay. Are you ready? All right. So the first thing we're going to do, and I'm thinking it might be easier to do this after we cut the folder in half, because we won't have to score through the double thickness. So I originally had opened it and cut it in half, but I don't know if you can see, but there's a little ridge right there, and when you cut it in half you end up with that little ridge on either side. So this is my idea. We're going to try it and see if it works. If it doesn't, it's just a folder. And at this point, I'm wishing I had brought a spare folder over to my work area. So we're going to cut it in half, but what we're going to do is we're going to leave it folded, and then we're just going to cut a little ways in, and that will cut that little bump off on the inside. So let's do that. We're going to try it together. We're going to make a new proto. Let's see if we can get this straight. That would be good. There we go. Still doesn't look straight to me. Do I have a factory folder that is not straight? Possibly. They are mass produced in a factory. Okay, so we're going to cut that off. And this effectively cuts our folder in half. And then we've got that little bump part in here. And we don't have to worry about it. Okay. So now that we've cut it in half, we're going to take our bone folder. We're going to take our scoreboard and our bone folder, the one that comes with it, so that it fits right in those grooves. Okay, we're going to take 1/2 of it. We're going to score it 5 3/4. Put your pencil down, makes it easier. 5 3/4. Yeah, this is much easier. Let's see if it works. 5 3/4. Do it several times. It is a manila folder. And then and I just scored it at 5 1/4 instead of 5 3/4. All right, let's go 5 3/4. I'm just going to ignore that line. And then I'll put you on hold and get another. I just want to show you where to score. And I'll get another folder. And then you want to score at 6 and an 8. And this is the gusset. See, what's going to happen is mine's going to have a score line on it where it doesn't need to. Okay. score this at 5 3/4. 3/4. I think the reason I did it together was so I knew what side this was on, but I'm not sure. We'll see. Like I said, we're doing the prototype together. And then 6 1/8. And it gives us our 1/2 inch gusset, or 3/8 gusset. Okay. Then we're going to take the two where the correct gusset is. That's not true. We're going to turn them sideways. I had to look at my directions of what I did. Turn them sideways and score them at 4 1/2. All the way down. Boy, I'm making a mess of this one. Okay. And it's from the flat side where you cut it. Mine still looks crooked. Score it. 4 1/2. Yes, we are. We're going to score the heck out of it at 4 1/2. Okay, then we're going to take the two folders, or the two halves, and just on the top half, above the 4 1/2 fold, we're going to glue the two gussets together. So we're basically going to put the folder back together. Okay. So it's 3 o'clock in the morning here. A friend of mine's husband's been real sick. It's terrible. And I've been up even more than I normally am. I've been worried. Okay. Let's make sure the score lines are all lined up. And glue it together. So we're putting the folder back together, but only at the gusset. So now you may notice that since this is shorter, you're going to have a little, one piece that's going to be shorter when we're done, but you're also going to have the tab. So there you go. Now on this part, don't look at my incorrect scoring. On the gusset, from the bottom, I think I should line those up from the bottom. Is the half mark lined up? Nope. So we're going to line them up at the bottom when we glue the gussets together. Sorry about that. I'll take my glue eraser right here and erase this little bit. I'm sorry about that. I knew right away when I looked at the bottom something was wrong. Very, very wrong. Okay, so now you're going to have to do this with them together so that it's exactly the same. So you're going to take your scissors and you're going to cut the area out in a rectangle up to this middle score line and along the gusset line. So you're basically taking the part that you do not have glued together right here, and you're cutting it out. And if you're like me, you're really bad at this. Okay, and then just lift it up, fold it, and then cut it off. And take your little bitty scissors and fix your mistake. Now, we are going to cut this in half, or fold this in half. And so what's going to happen is we're going to have too much thickness. So I'm going to fold it on the score line. Then when we fold it on the gusset to make the folder, we're going to have too much material right in here. So what we need to do is we need to make a little angle cut, and we're going to have to try to do it evenly from the edge, just outside the edge of where we cut, and meet right up there at the point where we cut. So we're going to do just a little bit. Right up to where we cut. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side. And that will taper this out. And then hopefully you can see that it angles out. This one may need a little bit more. Let's use our bone folder and fold it in half. Pretty sure my score line, you will see it in the front. Oh no, that's the gusset. And then fold it on the gusset to reinforce where it is. Okay. Fold it on both sides. Use your bone folder. This is a really cool Teflon one. So like if you have glue that oozes out or something, it doesn't stick to it, and it's heavier. It's pretty cool. I got it on Amazon. I think Miss Paint-A-Lot is where I saw it first. I got one on her recommendation. She has a YouTube channel too under Miss Paint-A-Lot. Okay, now when you fold it in half with the gusset like this, then it's going to be even. Ta-da! Now, it's going to look a little messy over here. I haven't really figured out how to fix that. Really does look better on this one. Okay, what we can do, see, the front looks fine. It's just this back side. Oh, I know why. Because we didn't trim them evenly. No, that's on the inside. Looks like it's just this. So I think I'm just going to trim it a little bit to make it even. So I just took that much off. You can see it's a little wider on one side than the other, and that's because it was crooked. So now let's see where we're at. Yeah, that looks a lot better. Get all these little pieces off here. So now, when you open it up, you've got the two flaps. Oh, then you're going to open it up. You're going to take one set of flaps and fold them to the front. And then you'll have the other set that folds to the back. Sorry about that. You're just going to want to kind of keep scoring so that everything folds. Now, this part kind of pops up, and it's going to do that on the front as well. And we'll take care of that when we put the closure on. See how this pops up? That's because when you look at it from the front, it flips down. Then you open it, and then you have a page. And then you open it again, and it flips down, and it flips down. And our notebook will be right here. Then you turn this one, and you have a page. And then you turn this one, and it flips down. All right, you got it? So that only took us 15 minutes to make that, and that was even though I made a couple of mistakes. So we're gonna stop at that point, and because it's the end of our construction, and then we'll come back in the next video and we will do some more stuff. Okay, this is Terry, that's me from the beginning. I have not changed. Saying goodbye, and I will see you in the next video. That will be just a second for you and a day for me. Bye-bye.